In the stillness of an early morning, the jungle was alive with sounds of birds and the rustling of leaves. A lion was playing with his cubs. They bounced around near their den, while the lioness remained inside, savoring the tranquility. Something felt wrong. The lion paused, his sharp instincts already on the edge. He turned around in a slow circle, seeking the source, and then went to investigate. There, on the outskirts of his territory, he spotted a few hyenas. When he got closer, he found himself surrounded by them, a huge pack. Their cruel eyes gleamed with hunger. The lion growled, a low, powerful sound, but his warning was met with nothing but a chorus of mocking cackles. They were closing in. He could feel their bloodlust. Thoughts of his family flashed through his mind. The lioness, the cubs. He couldn't risk them finding his pride. Without hesitation, he ran, hoping to draw them away. The hyenas followed, their shrill laughter echoing through the jungle. The lion stopped to quickly take a hyena down. The rest pressed on, driven by hunger and malice. He ran further away and took another one down, and again, another one down. They did not give up. They pressed on. He ran again. They were close on his tail, snapping drooling jaws. He saw a tree stump and hopped on it. There he found a short-lived defensive position. He fought hard. The hyenas, even though they lost more members on this battle, still fought with synchronized precision. They eventually pushed him off. He ran further away from his home. Each time he took one down, another one down, it seemed like their numbers shrank only for moments, only for the more to appear. It was as if they were spawning from the very shadows of the jungle itself. The lion's muscles burned. His breath grew ragged, but he still ran. For 3 days and nights, the lion waged a brutal battle non-stop, going further and further from his pride and everything he knew. One by one, the hyenas fell. By the third day, only two hyenas remained. Their eyes gleamed with sadistic determination. In one final desperate stand, the lion fatally wounded one. The last hyena hesitated, and then he just stood there looking down at his fallen one. The lion turned to look at him, but looked away. Exhausted and broken, the lion had no idea where he was. His territory, his pride, felt like a distant memory. The look on the hyena's face was no longer filled with rage, but something else. It stood gazing at the lion for a moment, and then walked away. The lion, too weary to be hostile, followed it, hoping it would lead him home. The hyena's path was slow and deliberate. For 3 days, the lion stumbled after it, his mind foggy with fatigue. He had only enough time to get a couple drinks of water on the way. The hyena wouldn't stop long. His body, desperate for rest, was on the verge of collapse. And then at dawn, the hyena stopped and looked back at the lion. There it was, the boundary of his territory. The jungle felt familiar once more. Relief flooded through his veins. He ran to his den. His joy quickly turned into sorrow. A male lion stood at the heart of his pride. He was bigger than he, with his thick, dark mane. His presence was overpowering. The hyena laughed. The intruder had taken everything. The hyena was laughing and walked into the bush. Fury surged within the lion, and with the roar that shook the jungle, he charged. The battle was fierce, but the intruder was bigger, stronger, too strong. The lion had endured days of sleepless war with the hyenas. Now he needed more endurance to fight. He was losing. And just when all seemed lost, the hyena reappeared. It circled around the intruder from behind and bit the intruder in the hind leg. It distracted him long enough to let the lion clamp down on his neck. He put the intruder to sleep. He dug his claws into the intruder's body and stood on him and growled at his mate. He walked over to his companion, and those cubs were not his. He went to attack a cub, but the lioness tried to stop him. He quickly wounded her, stood over her body, and roared at the cubs. The cubs, they just looked at him. The lion was feeling all sorts of emotions, but most of all, hunger. He walked over and devoured the cubs, one after another, while the hyena feasted on the intruder's corpse. The lion sat there afterwards and felt a sudden feeling he'd never felt before. He sat there daydreaming, unaware that the young boy was watching him devour the cubs in the bushes.